Hey everybody, Ashindor here. I am going to be doing another video on the new Rise of the Bloodborn cards and what we can try to do with them. So what I wanted to focus on today is the Vanar faction. We did Magmar last time. I actually had a quest for Vanar. I've since completed that just sticking around. But I still wanted to revisit it because Vanar is one of my favorite factions and I really like some of the new cards they've got. So let's see what they managed to get. So like the other factions, they got 6 new cards. First up is Concealing Shroud, which is a 2-mana spell. Your general takes no damage until your next turn, which means that when you play this, any damage you take on that turn after you play it, on your opponent's turn, is just completely ignored on your general. Now this effect can be dispelled, which is really important to note, but aside from that, you're pretty much untouchable. And that means that artifact charges also do not get knocked off, because they only get knocked off in response to damage. So you can combo Concealing Shroud with powerful artifacts to get, a pretty strong general hit. It's also there to help you, just trade or stay alive or what have you. So really, really fun spell. And this is probably the centerpiece of what we're going to be trying to do today. They got Frigid Corona, which is a 2-mana just stun to any enemy, including the general, and also it cantrips, draws the card back. I've been playing around with this, and I have to say I'm not super thrilled with it. I think it is most appropriately thought of as an alternative to Hailstone Prison, in the sense that it's not permanent removal, but instead, sort of buys you time. Hailstone can direct kill something if their hand is full, whereas Frigid Corona draws you a card, and can also be used against the enemy general. But overall, I haven't been super thrilled with this. I think it may actually make most sense in my Vesper deck as a quick, lock the opponent down for kill kind of thing. I haven't had a chance to try that yet. Next up we have Enfeeble, which is, again, just a pretty cool card. 3 mana, all minions, yours and the opponent's, become 1/1. Now, this doesn't dispel creatures. They keep their abilities, they keep their special stuff. But if a creature has been buffed, it will drop them back down to 1/1. So for instance, I was able to play this after an Abyssian opponent had their Grandmaster out and started summoning a bunch of 5/5 Wraithlings. And this did drop them all down to 1/1, which was really convenient until they just used the spell again, and then that became really depressing. But point is, you can really lock down powerful threats and make them much more manageable with this. It's only 3 mana. It is symmetrical, so you have to play around that, but combined with Faie's Bloodborn spell, this can potentially be a really strong board wipe effect. Now the only new Vesper that Vanar got here is Myriad, 3/3 for 3. And has a Blood Surge ability, which again triggers whenever you use a Bloodborne spell that summons a random wall nearby. I don't know if this is strong enough for a spot in a Vesper deck. I don't think that it is, because having walls on the board doesn't really help that deck do what it needs to do. I'm not quite sure really where this fits yet. Sleet Dasher is pretty interesting. 3/6 for 4, so same stats as, say, Primus Shieldmaster. Whenever this minion destroys an enemy, it gets reactivated, which means that this is basically a swarm clearing creature, right? Where it moves in, kills, moves in, kills, moves in, kills, as long as you can keep that chain going with it still alive. I think this card has the potential to be really effective against certain builds. I'm thinking here Swarm Abyssian, maybe some kinds of Songhai, things of that nature. But I haven't made up my mind yet whether I like this more than, say, Frostburn, which is just the blanket 3 damage. Finally, we have Grandmaster Imbla at 8 mana, 5/5, so stats for the cost are pretty low. But she has an opening gambit of just surrounding the enemy general with random walls. So like the other Grandmasters, Imbla has, all the Grandmaster cards basically have some sort of general-focused trigger, whether it's Zendo turning them into battle pets, or Variax making their Bloodborne spells awesome. Grandmaster Imbla basically locks the opponent down by surrounding them with random walls. Right now, the walls we have to choose from are Gravity Well, which of course has Provoke, the O2 Vesper one, who's Bone Chill Barrier, that's what I was trying to think of, which does have the advantage of being a Vesper and stunning creatures that attack it, but otherwise is pretty irrelevant. and then of course Blazing Spines, which are 3 3s. I don't believe there are any other wall types. So I haven't had a chance to play the Grandmaster yet, and I have no idea whether she's actually worth 8 mana. But maybe we'll find out today. Now, there's also some new neutral minions. I talked about them in the last video. Just something to keep in mind, I guess. So, I've been working on a build here where I was trying to get a lot of value out of Concealing Shroud, and so what I've been doing is trying to play it kind of aggressive, right? With you know, artifacts, Grincher for more artifacts, Flameblood Warlock, since Flameblood doesn't hurt you if you've got Concealing Shroud up, stuff like that. And it's been fun, but not particularly successful. So what I want to do is take this deck, rip out some of the aggressive components in it, and see if we can turn this into a strong Faie control deck using some of the new cards to really get, you know, a really powerful, you know, kind of tilted towards the late game lane control deck. So first up, we're gonna get rid of the Flameblood Warlocks. We're also going to get rid of the Frigid Coronas, because although those can be, I think, situationally good, we're looking for more permanent answers here. I'm going to get rid of the Saber-Spine Tigers. I'm going to get rid of the Snowpiercers for now. Same for the White Asps and the Grinchers. Now, of the remaining cards, I think I want most of these in the deck. We may tweak the numbers moving forward. So we're going to have Spelljammer as our main source of card draw. We're going to have Sleet Dasher as a 4-drop that can potentially kill, you know, trade with multiple minions on the opponent's side. Enfeeble as a way of dealing with, you know, pretty strong creatures, just making them 1/1s. Hearth Sister is just a great card all around and combos well with Faie's ability. Gravity Well for the walls. Concealing Shroud to do the damage dodging. Chromatic Cold needs no introduction. I do want to play a couple copies of Blood Tier just for pinging things off, and Aspect of the Fox, which goes well with the Gravity Well and also just a sort of general removal. Now, here's the question. What else do we want in this deck? We got 15 cards left to go. So the first thing I think we're obviously missing here is a late game win condition. How do we want to ultimately crush these people once we've dragged the game out a little bit? I think that there are two very obvious choices for us to consider in the spirit of playing with some of the new cards. The first one is Grandmaster Impla. The problem is that at 5/5, I don't know that the Grandmaster actually is that much of a win condition in and of herself, just because the walls she summons will require at least one turn to do anything. So she only really makes sense if you've been able to successfully build a board state up that can otherwise finish it. I am going to include 2 copies just because I really want to see how she plays. The other option, as we saw in the last video with Magmar, is Meltdown, who is just beastly. And I'm going to go ahead and include 2 copies of him. Now this is a lot of expensive cards, right? 2 7 mana and 2 8 mana. And I expect that at some point we will trim this down, but I'm including both now so that we can kind of see how they work. Okay, so with those kind of late game things selected, what else do we need to include to support the overall deck build? Now, with Concealing Shroud, I do want a way of giving my general some sort of, you know, additional damaging capability so we can really exploit that. Which means... what does it mean? We could run Snowpiercer, or we could run White Asp, or both. Some combination of both. I personally feel like that in this control sort of build, that White Asp makes a little bit of sense because it will generate additional walls for me. But on the other hand, Snowpiercer is a little bit more efficient at 3 mana. So let's go ahead and run 2 copies of White Asp and just kind of see how that goes. We've got 9 cards left. Early game, we got Gravity Well, Hearth Sister, a couple Blood Tier Alchemists. Why don't we go ahead and play... there's another good early play here. I'm not certain... oh, why don't we play Crystal Wisp? 3 copies of Crystal Wisp. which will allow us to ramp a little bit towards playing our higher end cards. You know, I don't often play Crystal Wisp. In fact, I almost never do. But we'll see whether maybe it makes sense here. It could. It could make sense. It could also be a terrible choice. Remains to be seen. Now, a couple copies of Snow Chaser are often good, since that will allow me to kind of harass and contain the opponent. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get a third copy of Snow Chaser. Now, I think the remaining choices are, do we want to have some additional removal, or maybe some additional cards, maybe in like the 3 slot? That would give us some kind of middle oomph. What choices could we go with here? Could play Glacial Elemental, but at that point I would want to swap some stuff out for Bone Chill Barrier. And I don't know that I really have enough, since Sleet Dasher is not actually a Vesper, I don't know that we have enough to have that make sense. Could run a couple copies of Avalanche as sort of, in fact, I like that idea. Let's run a couple copies of Avalanche. And then I think finally I am going to go ahead and, do we want to play, I think, a third Sleet Dasher? You know, let's just go all in on trying some of these new cards, right? Okay, so here's the new build. Got a few more like ramp elements, got some more control stuff, got a couple copies of White Asp, and then some late game. This could be just like a complete mess, you know, but I'm excited to try something a little bit new. So, Faie Prime, let's hop onto the ladder and see how we do.
Magmar versus Vanar.
Alright, up against Magmar. Let's see what our opening hand looks like. Okay, I'm gonna replace the Avalanche, I think. That looks pretty good. So depending on what he plays, we can Crystal Wisp and then Hearth Sister, if for some reason we want to punch things. Or we can Hearth Sister and then Snow Chaser over here. You kind of go either way here. Flash Reincarnation. Ah, Spelljammer. Alright. Let's replace Aspect with Fox. We're just gonna move up like that. Take the 2 cards. No need to be any more aggressive. This is, I think, one of my biggest flaws as a control player. It's the reason I don't play a lot of control decks. I always want to go in and start being very assertive on the board. I have to kind of like force myself to just be like, no, you know, it's fine. Why don't we just take a step back, you know, make a more defensive move here and just see what happens. Of course, you run the risk of them just playing something ridiculous if you let them do that. Oh my. Let's place one of those guys. Well, that's fun. Just do it like that. Because in theory, he could kill my guy here if he's able to clear all these walls by using his Blood Surge and then Drogon's ability. So I wanted to make sure that he had the maximum number of things hitting him here. And then depending on how this goes, I may also be able to Warbird and kill at least a little bit of this stuff. Oh my! Alright. So let's, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do that. Just like that. Okay, that worked pretty well. Now, I'm hoping, depending on how this goes, he'll try to force his way back here, and I can just step slightly and Avalanche. Oh my, alright, I'll do that. Oh, this is gonna be pretty sick right here. Although with him going over that way, I think the Snow Chaser is probably redundant. That. Can probably replace one of these Spelljammers, which don't seem overly useful. Now, if he has another Plasma Storm, right? Like, whatever. Grow. It's fine. Double Grow. Oh my. Oh my. Well, this is awkward. Like that. Yes, yes. Alright, so we're getting into the portion of the game where I can just close out with Warbird, but I'm concerned that he will have Earth Sphere, which just makes it a huge pain. There's the Mercantor! Okay, let's see what we can do here. I think that I can probably replace... Can I kill him here? 3, 5, 7... No. Let's just do this. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, to be totally honest, but I think Meltdown into Warbird here is going to be sick! Assuming I live, right? If he's got Flash, Mercantor, Thumping Wave, I'm done. Oh. That is pretty intense. Not gonna lie. Okay, so 3, 6, 8, 10. That will do it. And we'll just go invincible because why not? Alright, there we go. We were able to take down the fractal replicated Mercantor unstoppable engine of death. Whew! Alright, that worked okay. Worked okay. Let's give it a couple more.
Vitruvian versus Vanar.
Alright. Let's see how we do against good old Xerix here. Now, I think what I'm not liking about this deck so far is the early plays, which kind of makes sense. But just in general, that was kind of a weird one. We'll see whether this guy wants to say hello or yell at me. Could kind of go either way. We appear to have stumped Xerix. What will he do here? What shocking card choices are available to him? Let's see if I'm getting yelled at or not. Yeah, friendly human. Oh, okay, here we go. Alright. Oh, okay, alright, alright. We're going for the cryptography opening. I can respect this. I can respect this. We're gonna drop the Hearth Sister. I was gonna do that. Just because why not, right? Gets the 2/2 off the board. It's fine. Okay. Well, so this is going to be kind of weird. What do I want to do here, really? Well, first I want to replace Meltdown, right? Obviously. Oh, I could... No, that's dumb. So option 1 would be to just Enfeeble to kill this. I don't think I like that, though. I think what I want to do is drop a Sleet Dasher here. Aspect of the Fox that, and just punch this thing. That seems like a pretty good play. Please continue pressing forward into my zone. Oh, please, 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 please. Now, see, this isn't ideal, but if he clears this and plays more crap, then playing it Feeble maybe makes sense. You know, I don't really have a lot of... Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how much sense this actually makes. What are you doing over here, guy? Seems kind of weird. Are you just gonna punch me in the face? Please punch me in the face. Okay. Alright, less ideal. Let's place one of the Avalanches. Not 100% on that one. Oh, there we go. Chromatic Cold. That's what I needed. But this will be fun. This will be an exciting little adventure. I can probably replace the Snow Chaser since he's pushed so far up. Ooh, Entropic Decay. Alright. Alright, alright. Yeah, we're gonna do it this way. No, I just misplayed so horribly. Oh no, aw guys. Rip me. Let's do it this way then. Next turn though. Next turn. Oh yes. Oh yes, next turn. Assuming I don't die right here, which seems totally plausible. And I can probably replace the Enfeeble, I'm thinking. So, the reason I say I misplayed, what I needed to do was move here, so I could play this, and then punch him, and then play the Avalanche. That was really unfortunate placing, actually. Man! Ah, this is so irritating. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here. So here's the thing, right? I can do 6 damage. What is spell damage? Nope, not at all what I needed. I think I'm gonna lose this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. If he has like any sources of damage whatsoever. I can't play Avalanche without nuking myself. Because I'm pushed too far back. Do I like Enfeeble here? I mean, I think it definitely, you know, it kept me from dying this turn, which is good. I like that about it. But beyond that... Oh, Star's Fury. Fair enough. Yeah, that's gonna be enough. Yep. The hell took him so long to work out that turn? Just like straight up doing right there. Alright. That was a loss. That's unfortunate. Okay, so maybe the Avalanche... I don't know, actually. See, I feel like we could probably have done a much better job of playing that time if we'd gotten slightly different cards, or if I had just had played slightly different. It's going to take me a while to adjust like the flow of this deck. Is going to be part of the problem. Let's replace that and that. Cool. All right, this is actually a much better opening for us. Cool. Let's replace the aspect of the box. That was fun. Sure, we're going somewhere with this. Okay. Wow. Alright, so we're gonna do, that. Like that. Cool. Yep. Okay. Place that. There we go. Alright, so I'm thinking here, right, I think probably the most likely thing is she'll... Well, let's see what she plays, I guess. Ooh, Frostbone Naga. Interesting. That's kind of weird positioning, actually. Not sure how I feel about that. Fun thing, though, is that now I can do this. Ooh, exciting! Oh, this is gonna be fun. What's that? The dream! Alright, so first things first. We're going to go ahead and Warbird this crap. We're going to go ahead and Concealing Shroud. Now we're going to go ahead and play White Ass. We're just going to punch her right in the face for 5. And then for 2 more. I care not. Oh yes. It's triple Concealing Shroud with the White Asp on board. Do you have a Dispel? Because if not, I'm about to murder you. Right in the face. Ouch. Alright, that hurts a little. Not gonna lie. That hurts. That hurts big time. Totally does. Okay. Ooh, Night Watcher. Fun! Let's replace the Snow Chaser. It's not important right here. Yes! Oh, this is perfect. Move 1 space. I dare you. I double dare you to move 1 space. It's got 2 cards. I can't be hurt. Which is all pretty cool when you think about it. I'm pretty sure she was like, ah, Tark's gifts. I've got all this. Yes! Yes! Oh, that was so sweet. Victory. Oh my goodness, guys. Alright, so that's kind of what I want the deck to do. Now, I want to make like a couple observations at this point, I guess. The first was, at no point in those 3 games did we ever have a time where I felt like it was appropriate to play either Meltdown or Grandmaster Embla. Those might materialize with more time, but like the way our draws worked, we saw a lot of Sleet Dasher, we saw a lot of sort of like the intermediate cards, and it worked okay. So I don't really know what to think about that though. So I'm going to leave the deck kind of as it is, with maybe a few exceptions. I'm going to drop down to 2 aspects of the Fox, because I felt like those were not as much what I needed. What I do want another of... Do I want to keep Avalanche in there? I feel like I probably do. What I do think I want some of is, I'm going to cut a copy of Snow Chaser as well. And we are going to run 2 copies of Aspect. Aspect? Does Aspect make sense? Here's the thing about Aspect, right, is it doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, it's fine. We're on a couple copies of Aspect. Because that's fun. And we're going to keep it there for now. Anyway, so that was a fun alternate version of Faie. Definitely needs some more tweaking, definitely needs some more practice with it, but overall pretty happy with how those games played out. So I will probably make another video with more Faie Prime adventures at some point. I think the next one I'm going to make, though, is going to be looking at some of the new Songhai cards and returning to my first love, Kalios, and seeing how we can use some of the new Songhai tools to make our backstabs all the backstab. Until then, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have some great games. Good night.